Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pat on your back, personal fitness. Hope everyone's having a great week. Hopefully, you enjoyed that new intro music. Thanks to the StreamYard for the updates and updating our countdown music a little bit, make things a little bit little new and fresh. Again, hope everyone's having a great week tonight. Keep things pretty straightforward. Last week, we talked about contingency plans and the importance of having them, why they're so important, and creating them to help you stay on track, to help you keep those good actions that you're looking to to maintain and help you stay consistent on that progression towards your goal. Because as we mentioned last week, life will throw something at you. It's not really a matter of if, it's kind of when. So the more we can be proactive with those and have those plans in place, even if it's not for the exact situation that gets thrown at us, we're better able to handle it. And if we can proactively prepare for those situations that we know are going to come, we're away for a little bit, there's travel, maybe there's something going on at the house or at work, or maybe there's construction, it's going to change your route to the gym. If we know some of these things are coming up, the more we can plan and prepare for those and have those contingency plans in place. When the unexpected things come up, we can better handle and deal with those as need be. So if you missed last week, pop back, check it out on whatever platform you're watching us on, and then grab that. Tonight, what we're going to talk about is checking in on our progress. It's 2 months into 2025. A couple more days. It's the end of February as we record this. So again, end of month, first of month, great time to build in those checkpoints, those check-ins for your progress and your goal. If you've been with us for a while now, you know we kind of started this process back in October, right around Thanksgiving, and have built it up through to have momentum and some system creation and things going as January 1st hit. So we've maybe are 3-4 months into this step towards our goal. But if you weren't with us, or if you're just getting started or just kind of getting things figured out, that's okay too. Again, I really like the end and or first of the month as a check-in point because it's built in. The month is going to change on you every month. February is a little shorter this year, or every year except for a leap year. So shorter month now, we get maybe a little faster check-in. But again, it's nice as the new year's just started to kind of keep us on our toes and maybe bring up anything that hasn't been working for us. It gives us time now to check in and see how things are doing, or any adjustments maybe that we made after at the end of January. Again, a little few days shorter of a turnaround now this month to maybe check in on those changes we made or those tweaks we put in, or again, maybe seeing how things have continued to progress and make any adjustments that we need to. So for a lot of clients and for myself, I try to use that month, that calendar as a reminder to go, just like I would with other things in the changing my furnace filter. It's the first of the month because I know it's going to change every month, and that gives me that kind of automatic reminder rather than trying to think, okay, what date did I last change the filter and should come around and move that, and where did I change it, the 6th or the 8th or the 14th, first of the month. That's my reminder to kind of go and get it done. So we can build those checkpoints in. So again, it's one less thing we try to have to maybe keep organized and keep into our routines and our systems. We can just have that reminder built in as we change the calendar. Then that's our reminder to do those check-ins on those progress points and those goals. And hopefully you've been keeping track in your workout journal, your workout log, your apps on your phone, whatever you're using to keep track of your progress and your results and what you're doing. Again, take that out, take some time, book some time this weekend, maybe tonight after this episode. A lot of you I know use kind of this evening once we go off air to put in some of the work that we talk about and put some things into action. Set aside that time to revisit the past month, couple months, and again, compare, see how things are going, and excuse me, see what is again, maybe needing that little tweak, that readjustment, and kind of go from there. Make any adjustments you need to. Again, revisit the goal, clean things up if you need to, get out that vision board. Hopefully it's up somewhere so you can see it and be reminded of it. Same with those theme words, the mission statement, vision statements, like our pal Blake talked about a few weeks ago. Again, hopefully those things are there for us. And it can be that reminder, but if not, get them out, put them up, or go sit where they are and use that reminder as well to keep you on track and to remind you what your goal or goals are. And again, your why. Did you pick that goal? Why is that goal so important to you? Again, if you missed that, go back a few episodes a few weeks ago and revisit that one. That can really help you in maybe times of difficulty, at times of low energy and low motivation. Having an actual real reason and a why behind your goal gives you that inspiration and motivation when those days are tough. Or like we talked about contingency plans last week, when life throws something at you and it's tough to work on that goal or progress towards it, knowing that why can help you as well. So again, keep in mind that why and that reasoning. And again, maybe it's incorporated into your vision board, vision statement, mission statement, excuse me, so you can see that and again, have that quick kind of reminder. K-Man, welcome in. Bonnie, good to see you. We'll catch you on the replay for sure. Hope everyone's doing well. K-Man, that's actually on tap for next week. Thanks for that reminder. Next week, a little spoiler, a little preview. Next week, we're going to chat about the time change, spring ahead next week, because hopefully spring is here. So we'll chat about that next week. Thanks, K-Man, for that reminder and that segue. So something to tune in for. What we'll tie it into is ways to how that'll impact your routine, kind of losing an hour, and ways to minimize the impact it has on you, losing that hour of time that we will in a couple of weeks. So we'll chat about that next Wednesday. So little sneak peek for those of you tuning in that we'll chat about. So, but thanks, gang, as always, for tuning in. Those of you that are tuning in, if you're with us live or if you're catching the replay, if you've incorporated maybe a contingency plan, maybe you created one last week, or maybe you have one you're using, if you're okay to share that, we'd love to hear from you in the comments as well. Or are there ways, even if it's just maybe your exit strategy, when life throws something at you and it throws you off a little bit, how do you exit from that? How do you get back on track? And that's a big part of our contingency plan as well, is not only preparing for the event and having ways to deal with it, but coming out of it is important as well, getting back on track as soon as we can, as soon as possible, to regain that momentum and that consistency. Also, if you're with us, let us know what you use for check-ins. Do you use an app? Do you have a journal? Do you devote time tonight? Do you have certain days of the week that you kind of check in? Let us know kind of what your system is and what you look for. Are you a monthly check-in kind of person? Is it weekly, bi-weekly? Let us know. So that, again, maybe something you're doing could help someone else that's tuning in as well. So making sure, again, with those checkpoints, keeping track of things as much as possible. As always, it doesn't have to be perfect or 100% of the time. Again, things come up, life happens, but if you can keep track of as much of it as possible, again, you can celebrate those successes and give yourself that pat on your back. Plug intended. Blake's not here to plug me, so I'm going to mention it on my own. But you can give yourself that pat on your back. You can celebrate those victories and those wins, and that's going to give you the self-confidence and keep that momentum going to help you continue on that path towards that goal. On the flip side, if you're struggling, if you've kind of hit a rut, if things aren't going how you expected, or there's been a change, maybe things were going really well and you've hit a wall, you're not sure what's going on. Again, you can look back on those notes and see, were there any changes? I was sleeping 8 hours a night when we started this. Now I'm down to 5. Maybe that's why I don't have energy to get to my workouts at the end of the day. What can I do to get back to the 8 hours of sleep? Or if that's not possible right now, can I increase the quality of my 5 hours sleep? Or do I need to modify what I'm doing right now to match up to my energy levels because my rest isn't what it was? Oh, I was drinking more water a few weeks ago. I was getting a couple liters in. Now I'm struggling to get through 600 milliliters a day. Why? What changed? What's different? That's going to have a big impact on me. Can I get back to that level I was before? And again, plan through that, work through that. It can give you those clues that sometimes just being in the moment and progressing towards goals and trying to work on things, you just don't notice those little changes or those things that have maybe slipped off a little bit, or just weren't there, or maybe some room for improvement, or maybe you've just changed. Maybe something you were doing before that made a difference for you, maybe 2 workouts a week when you started, maybe you've progressed enough that you're ready for a third day, or ready for a different style of workout, or more intensity, or some sort of modification. So again, it kind of gives us that resource to go back to that maybe we just don't notice, because we just think we're kind of doing like we're supposed to, one day at a time, one step at a time. But we've had at least 2, maybe 4 months to kind of work on this. So you're going to make progress that maybe you don't notice, is not measurable, but maybe it's something when you actually look back on it, you can see. So that's why a lot of people recommend keeping track of things. So that, again, not only to stay consistent and know where you're going, but to kind of see where things have worked or have not worked, so we can make any adjustments that are needed. Because if we started this back in October, a lot could have happened between October of last year and the end of February this year. As we record this, things could have changed. Life could have thrown things at you. That contingency plan, maybe you're already using it. So things could need to be adjusted and tweaked as well, because you could be in a different place right now. Maybe you're progressing a little further, a little faster than you had expected. Maybe you're really buying into the workouts, or the water intake, or the healthy eating. And as we've mentioned, all of our systems are interconnected. So if you're drinking your water every day, that's going to have an impact on your energy. That's going to make your cells feel better. That could keep you feeling satiated, so you're maybe not eating and snacking as much and making those poor choices. So that could give you more energy and help your body recover more efficiently, and help those workouts take effect even better. So again, one habit could have a big effect on us, that maybe lifting these other habits up with it progresses you a little further along than you expected at this time. So again, we need to maybe make some adjustments and tweak that. So we're never, our goals and our systems and our routines are never carved in stone. We talked last week about being flexible. How I would like to say max flex from my time working in Afghanistan with the Canadian Armed Forces. We have to be flexible. Things will change. Just as life will hand us stuff and maybe try to derail us, on the flip side, sometimes we do really great things and make such great progress that we get a little further ahead than we expected to at that time. And then again, we can use that to maybe give us a little buffer zone for when things may get tough, or we just tweak and adjust the goal as we need to go. Awesome. Great stuff, K-Man. K-Man's up to 2.2 liters today. Talk too much at work. Plus the workout. Awesome. Great stuff. We're in a bit of a health challenge at work for staff. So there's some water intake goals and some stretching and sleep goals. It's about healthy habits. So I'm using that to go along and try to tighten up a few things as well. And one of the ones I need to work on lately is my water intake. So we're trying to get that up. So great stuff, K-Man. Keep up that great work. Great to see how consistent you're being with this routine of the healthier eating, the workouts, the water. So proud of you, and happy to see that consistency that you're showing. So great stuff out there. Excuse me. Again, with our tracking, it could be a great way to build in that accountability, where as you check in, you know the check-ins are coming. So you're going to keep yourself maybe more accurate. You're filling in those logs a little bit more. You're being more detailed, more consistent, because again, you have accountability to yourself because you have a check-in at the end of the month. Maybe again, you share that check-in with your partner. If you have an accountability partner, a spouse, if you have someone that maybe is on a goal path of their own, but you're both supporting each other, again, monthly check-ins. Maybe you meet somewhere, maybe you meet for a nice big glass of water somewhere and compare. How are things going with you? What's been working? What's not? What can we kind of do to support each other? Again, you can kind of create that intersystem of people around you. That's some of the 5 people that you hang out with. That's your circle. We're into racing season. Your pit crew. Our pal Todd Durkin talked on this podcast the other day about creating your pit crew. Again, having those people around you that will support you, lift you up, be there when you need it, tighten the lug nuts when they need it as well, change those tires, help you to keep progressing towards that finish line. We need those pit stops. We need those check-ins, and that's what this is. So use that pit crew, use that support system, use your circle, your team, whatever you want to call it. Use that to your advantage to help you stay motivated, but also to have external eyes on what you're doing. As I mentioned earlier and a couple weeks ago, we don't always notice when things maybe aren't going wrong, or it's hard to pinpoint maybe what is the stick up or what's causing us to kind of get into this rut. Sometimes it's worth going to your coach or an accountability partner so they can maybe look at things with you and say, oh, look, you're not sleeping as much as you were before, or it looks like your sleep is interrupted based on what you're writing down. What's doing that? What's going on? Well, my work schedule's changed, so excuse me, I eat dinner later at night now than I was before, so maybe that's part of it. I'm eating at 8, 9 o'clock sometimes when I get home. Okay, that's probably a big deal. You were working regular hours, eating at 5 back here. You had time to digest. What can we do or tweak or adjust to maybe help that that process maybe change or adapt to what's going on as best as possible? Maybe we eat a bigger lunch and a little less at dinner because it's so late, or again, different options there as well. So sometimes that outside pair of eyes can be very valuable to you in just helping you find what's going on. And then that light bulb goes off, you tweak, adjust to get back on track and put the hammer down and start moving towards that goal again. So don't be afraid to ask for that help. Again, whether it's someone like me who can coach you through it and guide you through it, or again, if you have even just like again, your spouse, a friend, someone that's on maybe a similar goal path as you, or even just working on their own goal and they're in that mindset. Again, the benefit of a coach is typically we've been where you want to go. So we know the way. And we also hopefully know the ways to avoid some of those roadblocks and detours and how to get around some of those obstacles that will come up. So you can use that experience to help you. But we want to build in those checkpoints. If we don't have checkpoints, again, we can't celebrate the victories. We can't learn from maybe what's going on. And for some of our goals and our progress, it's hard to know if we are progressing or not. Again, I mentioned earlier, some things aren't measurable. A lot of clients I have will begin workout programs, and their goal may be to lose weight, but there may be 3 or 4 other improvements that they feel before the scales even move at all or the inches change. So sometimes we have to sit and meet and they get frustrated. I've been doing my routine. I've been working out with you. I've been eating as best I can. I don't see a change yet. Okay, but how are you feeling? How are you sleeping? Oh, I'm sleeping much better than when I started. When I have energy when I get home from work, I can play with my kids after school, after work. A few weeks ago, it was tough to do that. I sit up straighter at my desk at work or at school. Those are the things that we don't necessarily take out our tape measure or get calipers or a scale to measure, but it's progress. It's improvement. It's feeling better. So we want to be aware of those too. And again, that's where a tracking system can be a big key in that, where again, you may not even notice that you have more energy, or you notice it, but it's not like an aha moment. And then you look back in your journal or your tracking log and see that you were dragging yourself through the afternoons maybe to get through work and to finish your shift before you got home. And now you can finish your shift, you can go get groceries, you can get home, you can play with the kids or the grandkids or take the dog for a walk, come home, shovel the driveway, put out the garbage, and then you still feel good and still feel energized and still feel like you could do more things. And that's ultimately what we want. We want to have a great quality of life and be able to do the things we need to do, right? We call it being operationally fit to fight the daily battles life hands you. Whether that's, hey, you have to shovel 6 inches of snow, or you have to go get the groceries, or you have to work a 10-hour day, or you have to, whatever the case is, whatever life's going to give you today, fold the laundry, dust, whatever it is, you're able to do that and be able to do something else. Not just one thing and then be spent and need to lay down for 4 hours to recover or just kind of flake out for the rest of the day. We can do what's needed and then do the next thing. Work on our recovery and build that in so we're ready to do the next task, whether it's expected or unexpected. So again, tracking and looking through and having these check-ins can give you the time to reflect on that tracking, and again, see what's going well, and give yourself that pat on your back. Celebrate those successes, to again keep yourself moving forward and building that momentum. And thinking that snowball rolling down the hill, as it rolls and gets speed, it gets bigger and bigger, it builds more momentum. We want to do that with our progress towards our goals. Keep ourselves moving forward as much as we can and build that positive momentum. And be aware that if something's dragging us back a little bit, that's okay. It's going to happen. But what can we identify what it is? Can we work through it, work around it, get over it, whichever the case is? And if we need to take a little bit of a step back or a time out from what we're doing, how and when can we get back on track? What's our plan? Sometimes things go wrong, things aren't working, and it's frustrating. You say, you know what? I don't want to think about it today. I need a break from working towards my goal. It's not going well. I don't know why. I just need time away from it. Fine. Take that time away. Give yourself that break to reset, recharge. But have a plan of when to come out of it. Okay, you know what? I need today to get just a break. I need a little break from this. I need to clear my head. I'm going to take today off. But tomorrow, I'm back on the horse. What can I do today while I'm taking a break to kind of prep me for tomorrow, to make sure I do get back on that horse? Okay, tomorrow's a workout day. I'm going to get my workout gear ready. I'm going to get my water bottle set. I know I'm going to take today off of working on my goal, so it gives me maybe some time to meal prep that usually I do on the weekend. But I can prep some meals for the next couple of days to make sure I've got my lunch and I'm ready to go and ready to get after it. And then have that exit strategy, because sometimes if we don't define kind of our time down or what we need.
Awesome. Sorry, guys, my mic pack died. I want to make sure you heard me. So we want to make sure that, again, we use that time and have that time and that plan to come out of that downtime. Because if we don't, sometimes one day turns to 2, turns to 3. Thanks, K-Man. And then the more time we take off, the harder it is to get back going, to get a momentum going again. If the snowball is rolling back at you, it's harder to push the opposite way. If it's already moving, it's easier to push and keep going and maybe move a little faster. So that's why that kind of exit strategy and tying in with our contingency plans that we talked about last week, having those in place and having an exit strategy. If something does come up and we need a day away, or again, life happens and we just can't work on it today because of whatever's going on. Okay, but tomorrow I'm going to be back. Here's what I can do to make sure I'm ready to go. Or you know what, I need a couple days to sort a couple things out. I'm going to give myself 2 days to kind of process what's going on, deal with it. But after those 2 days, I'm back at it. What can I do now to make sure I'm ready at the end of those 2 days? And again, write it out, create that plan, have it posted somewhere, put alerts, reminders in your phone to say, hey, tomorrow morning, we're back at it. Maybe your theme words, maybe some kind of motivational song or video or something, again, to help you remember and remind you of what's going on and to get you back on track, and maybe visit your why and your vision boards and really, again, tune yourself into that, build yourself back up, get yourself ready, prepare as much as you can to get back on track. And again, track those downtimes too. If you take a day, write it down, track it. So you know what, I went a couple months, I needed a day. I've been going a couple months again. I just feeling like I need a day again. Why am I trying to kind of hitting these walls? Is it something I need to do? Do I need more recovery? Is it just something I should build in, where maybe I take a complete rest day every maybe 8 weeks to give myself that break and that recharge? Again, it helps you learn about yourself as well. And then you can maybe build those things in. And if you learn that about yourself and build them in, then you're less likely to let that negative self-talk creep in of, oh, here I go, I need a break, I can't handle it. Whatever the reasoning may be, we'll start to put ourselves down. But if we use this opportunity to learn about ourselves, you know what I see when I look in my book or look at my app, my tracking app, I see this happens to me every so often. I must need that time. If there's nothing I can do to maybe work through it, I don't see any adjustments I can make or changes, you know what, maybe I need to build that time in. Every 8 weeks, I need a little break. Maybe every week I need a rest day. Maybe I'm not giving myself a rest day. Maybe I should take 1 day a week where I rest and I do something a little less intense, or maybe I don't think about my goal. I take a me day and I just don't worry about it. And then the next day I get back on track. Again, there's different options to go about this and ways to attack it. It's just finding what works best for you, because that's the way you're going to have the most success, is figuring out what works best for you. What works for me is different than you, then different than him, then different than her, different than them. It's about learning what works best for you. Maybe you take a little bit from each person and make your own kind of system out of it. That's okay too. That's what a lot of us do. That's what I do for public speaking and presenting at conferences. When I attend a conference, I watch the presenter to learn the information, but I think, oh, that kind of matches my personality. I like what they did there. I could do something like that. And then as I go through the sessions, I kind of mold things together to create something that works for me. But we learn from each other just like we would in other environments as well. So use the time this week to, again, the month ends in a couple days. As we record this, 26th today of February. Remember, February only has 28 days. So you only have a couple days left in the month. I think Friday will be the 28th. So again, build the time in sometime that works for you sometime this week. Maybe it's tonight, again, after we go off the air. Maybe it's Friday as the month ends. Maybe it's Saturday or Sunday as the month begins and you're maybe off from work or home. You know, whatever works for you, but build in that time to check in. And try to use a consistent check-in time. Again, if it's monthly, if it's every couple of weeks, if it's a combination, maybe you do little check-ins every week, every 2 weeks, big check-ins every month. Every couple of months, it's a really big check-in. Again, play around with things, find a system that works for you, but track things as much as you can and check in on a consistent basis to make sure you're making that progress. And if you're not, it gives you that time to look into things to try to figure out why. Do I need to change my progress? Do I need to go back to the way I was doing things before? Did I slip a little bit? Again, no judgment, but it just gives you that information so that you can get back on track and get progressing towards that goal as fast as possible. Again, next week we'll chat about the time change coming up and ways that'll impact us and ways we can try to minimize that impact as much as possible. So in the meantime, that's it for tonight, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Again, whether you're live or via recording, we'd love to hear from you in the comments and the chats. Please keep that going. I come back and check on the messages after the fact as well. So if you have questions or comments or want to share, please let us know. And feel free to do so, and we'll check on that. Please share this with your community. If you know someone who's trying to goal set and work through things and wants a strong community around them, please recommend us, share. We appreciate all your passing on of information to that. So share with your communities. We'll be here again next week to talk about our time change. In the meantime, remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next week.